What's up, Rubits? Little Big Robots. Back with a video, obviously. Today I'm looking at this little guy here. This is the Star Wars Hasbro's Black Series Imperial Droid. I believe that's what it's called. If not, look at the title. I have so many droids and robots and stuff to review lately, so I'm kind of confused on the name. But this guy is really cool. You might have seen quite a bit about him or them or whatever. It's a little Rubit. I think they appeared in The Mandalorian. I'm not a big Star Wars person. You understand, I dabble in a lot of different IPs, and yet I don't. I'm not an expert in almost any of them except for like 2 or 3. But this has been going and making the rounds because people have been enjoying the playability of this toy. Basically, it's a droid, so it has a humanoid shape, yet is obviously robotic or whatever. But you could mistake this for like just a human and like like an Iron Man type thing. But as I mess with it, I actually am really impressed with it, except for one kind of glaring thing, which is that as you mess with it, the joints are not very. You can see I'm barely touching that. They're not very tight. I'm used to toys, model kits. Other toys, Joy toys and stuff that have clacking features, and that have that lock into place or whatever. And this is definitely not one of those. It holds its shape for sure. It holds its pose. You can do just a ton of fun stuff with it, but it also feels not fragile, but if you do too much, it's going to kind of fall apart. It won't. I've been messing with this a lot, so I don't think that's going to be the case. But as you pose it, nice little Christ pose. Look at that. I was just going to say, as you pose it, it doesn't really, because its feet joints are especially kind of loose. If you get it in the right pose and it's balanced, it'll work all right. But as soon as you kind of put a little pressure on it, eventually it's going to go. See, I just barely tap it and it's leaning forward. So there it goes. So other than that, the joints are a little bit loose. There are techniques for tightening up the joints on stuff like on toys like these. So don't despair if you want this, even just for the fact that it's a cool looking bot. If that's your thing, like it is my thing, I would buy it. It was $30-something, but I get through I have a Best Buy credit card, and when I spend money on the Best Buy credit card, I also get Best Buy points, and when I spend money on the points, I get discounts on toys. I put those points towards toys and stuff. It's just a really fun. Best Buy actually has quite a selection sometimes, but and their delivery is super fast if it's in stock. One problem they have is that a lot of stuff will not be in stock, or it'll be there and it's never coming in. It's kind of a weird store. It's an electronics store, but everybody's in the action figure game now because action figures are such a money maker. I mean, this was 30 something. I got it for I want to say for 20 because of some of my points or whatever, and I had it in the cart with some other stuff. I'd still buy it for regular price if you're a collector of Star Wars, especially. If not, you have to like bots. Like my channel is all about little versions of big robots. That's exactly what this is. My only quibbles with it, I would have to say, is that it looks very Star Wars. I don't know which was first. I want to say that Star Wars was first in '79, and then Disney's The Black Hole came after. It was kind of the answer to everybody wanted to do a sci-fi movie, so Disney did The Black Hole, and The Black Hole is amazing. But every time I see this guy, I think of the Black Hole Sentries, the red ones with the guns that had a barrel on the top and bottom, that were obviously just dudes in suits, whatever. So, I don't really like the look of this one's head. I don't like how his head looks, as you can see. It's very Star Warsy looking. It looks a little bit goofy, but other than that, it's a fun figure to play with. If this is your kind of style aesthetic and you like this thing, go for it. He comes with his little gun, of course, He comes also with, I don't have them with me. I just realized I didn't grab them, but he comes with 2 flame effects, and the flame effects slot into his feet. You see the holes in his feet. So those aren't just stand holes. There are flame effects. I don't have them here. They're around here somewhere. And they slot into that. You can put him into like a flying pose, which I think is funny. His head will actually kind of rotate and go up. You can see as I'm pulling his neck, it'll actually go up into like a flying T pose. So you can actually put them like a, and it's meant to go on that. That's one of the problems with a lot of figures is you get, their neck won't go up, and it's a little bit frustrating or whatever. This is kind of interesting too. I don't know if this is something that would interest you or not. May I talk about it anyway? But you can take off the armor bits. So you can take off his shoulder pads and this armor. No, the armor piece I think stays on. I can't remember. Yeah, the big armor piece stays on. I'm tempted to take it off just to see what it's like in there. I prefer him without the shoulder armor. Actually, I think he looks cooler. I think he looks sleeker. I like a robot-looking robot that has like a skeletal kind of aspect to it. I don't necessarily like big hulking thing. I mean, I do, but I mean, I don't necessarily like that loose armor. But without it, of course, it looks a little incomplete. The head is a little bit large for the body without it, so you'd have to make a judgment on that. I'm sure most people who buy one of these, if they're your collector, you're buying 2, one for the shelf, one for the storage or whatever. I don't do that because I'm not ridiculous. Why spend $60 when? Here's my theory on that. If you want to buy one in the box, if you think you're going to sell your collection one day or your investment or whatever, go for it. But if you're not, that's a surefire recipe for buying way too many toys, spending way too much money. So what I would do is buy one, do what I do, even if it's privately, do a video, take photos, write a blog about it, write your thoughts about it, and that will serve, I think, as it's not something you can sell one day, although you could sell the original one with the provenance of your blog or whatever, but it gets the same amount of experience out of it. That's why I don't buy more than one of something. Typically I do occasionally for customs and stuff. But for this guy, if this is your thing, I mean, you could see an army of these for sure. So I could see buying more than one for just an army aspect, army builder, because he looks fantastic from a distance. That sleek black. I would like to see a little, could you imagine just a little basic silver dry brushing on that? I do a lot of basic dry brushing on my figs and toys. I do a lot of customization. I don't know if you can't see mine or mine up top. But just a basic light silver dry brushing on that would look amazing. A little bit weathered, because, Star Wars is supposed to be a very weathered world. That's what it was so attractive about it back in the day when we first saw it, So it's a great figure. If anything, he just is standing now automatically without me doing anything. It's so funny because normally he just flops all over. But I would say that on this, because he's a popular figure, I don't know that I'd wait for him to be on sale, because it probably will remain at that price for a while. If anything, it might go up from collectors and stuff. But if you see him on discount, or you do like I do, and you get him for $10 off or $20 off or whatever, I mean, even at $30, it's amazing what we get in figures nowadays for that price. So I would definitely recommend grabbing it if you like robots or if you like Star Wars. If not, it's still a really fun fig just to play with. You can see the size. I love this scale. So, it's up to you. Me, I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm not a not Star Wars guy. It's not something I'm into. I saw the very first one in the theater when I was a kid. Trust me, I've seen them all. I'm a fan. But I'm not a big collector of Star Wars stuff. But the bots, I absolutely love. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a review of another one, another droid or whatever. So anyway, really, really cool figure. I think you'd enjoy it. If you just like I keep just messing with them. People talk about it. I just keep playing with them. The joints are getting more and more loose as you do that, so that's unfortunate. There's tips and techniques for tightening those joints, just like there are in model kits and stuff, so keep an eye out for those. But other than that, I mean, you can put them in a nice ballet pose. The Nutcracker for Christmas. There you go. Fantastic toy. Enjoy. I'm going to pretend to put this towards the camera so I can press the stop button. See? So have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.